One of my favorite moments was getting a chance to speak with you on stage in front of what I remember is like 15,000. It was probably closer to 3,500, but it was just a sea of kids screaming your
Probably
name.
50,000 kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the kids in North Carolina showed up. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But no one cared who Christian and I were. They were all Megan the whole time. We're trying to tell jokes and stuff. And we're like, we get it. She'll be here in 5 minutes. Can everyone relax? In that moment, though, the day before, there was a little girl who came up to us. And I don't know if anyone shared the story with you and was so excited, had given us something to give you that day. And we said, why don't you just come back tomorrow? And she said, my dad won't let me because it's Megan Rapinoe. So, and this, I mean, how old was this girl? Maybe 8, 9, 10 years old?
Girl. Yeah.
Hearing that, I mean, one, it goes to show just how far your message got. But doesn't that also give you the idea that there is so much more still to do?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like that kind of just like, breaks my heart for that little kid that, I feel like little kids just see things like through this really beautiful lens. So probably what they were seeing was just like, someone who had some wild hair, who, had a certain presence on the field, who was scoring goals is probably what that little girl wanted to see, and then to think that, her dad was, I don't know, not with it or whatever for whatever reason, when really all I'm trying to do is, and the team is to set up, a situation where that little girl can come in and do, 10 times what we've done. But I think too, it does say a lot, like, and I think this is, part of what I've, realized and try to always continue to keep in my mind is that, like, when I talk, like, a lot of people listen, whether they like it or not. And so kind of balancing that responsibility with, always trying to continue to speak truth to power. But I really try to do it in a way that doesn't alienate a lot of people. I don't think it's useful to just be like, oh, all of, everybody who voted for Trump is a horrible person, and then everybody who didn't. It's like, well, that just leaves us in the exact same spot that we are, or, turns people off of women's sports, honestly, right from the jump. So that's kind of like, that's really sad and heartbreaking for that little girl. But I think also we are breaking through because she is watching the World Cup and she is seeing the team play. And whether it's me talking or Ashton Alley talking or Crystal or whoever it is, like, you're going to hear that unified message. And she's going to hear that message if she watches other sports, if she watches the WNBA, if she's turning an NBA game on. Like, I think athletes using their voice now is just so much more powerful. And I think when we're all sort of doing it together and saying the same things, I think you can start to break through. I would love to talk to that dad and just, really honestly ask, like, what about me, minus the F-bombs that sometimes just slip out of nowhere.
Nobody can control those. Yeah.
Nobody can control that. I mean, I don't know when they're coming or where they're coming from. Yeah, but like, what is it about me or that, whatever I'm saying that you don't want your daughter to hear, and which way am I saying it that is unacceptable for your daughter to hear, that you don't want your daughter to meet you? I would love to hear that. And how do we break through that? And how maybe do I better explain my message, or how do I sort of get across to that father that ultimately we're both trying to do the same thing, provide your daughter the most, amazing childhood and opportunity that she has to be successful in the world.
Okay. I'm glad you want that, because Christian and I were like, yo, Dad, you're trash, B.
Yeah, that's a nicer response. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out ways that I could fight this dad.